Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom,
What are you
boom,
doing?
boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom.
What are you doing?
Boom, 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 boom. What?
What are you doing?
I'm frogging.
You what?
I'm frogging.
Hang on a minute. Can you say that? Can you say frogging? No, frogging. You can say it. You can say that.
It's a dance.
Okay.
It's a 60s dance done by hipsters.
You didn't have hipsters in the 60s.
Hip young things.
Hippies, you
Cool.
mean?
No, not hippies. Cool
Cool
youths.
dudes.
Down the Blue Whale.
Okay. We've been watching episode 2 of Dark Shadows.
In fact, we've been watching episodes 1 and 2 of
We
Dark
watched
Shadows.
episode 1 yesterday, we watched episode 2 today, so that's what we're going to talk
And
about.
whose fault is this?
This is Paul's fault
Paul's fault for doing Dark Shadows on
on the podcast.
Round the Archives.
Yes.
And Andy Priestner started watching Dark Shadows based on his article,
Yes.
and so did I.
Yes. And then I made you start again.
And then we showed it to Warren as
Yes.
well, didn't
So
we?
now Warren's going to watch it as well.
But what do you make of this? This is strange,
It's
isn't
very
it?
strange. I'm trying to work out what they're aiming at because I'm imagining originally it's just meant to be sort of a continuing drama or soap opera.
Yeah.
Now I haven't really seen any American soap operas,
So you've got nothing.
so
much
I've got nothing to
compare
base it on. But I can't imagine they're like this.
I very much doubt that there's anything like this on telly at
Because
this moment.
It's I want to keep watching it to find out what happens because there's all these
Answered questions.
questions. You know, why is I've forgotten his Burke Devlin. Why has he come back to the town? Why does he?
Well, let's start from the
Yes.
beginning. It opens with a monologue
Yes.
saying, "My name is Victoria Winters."
Yeah, she's got a really strange acting style. They've all got strange acting styles. Actually, they're all playing it in a certain melodramatic way, aren't
Yeah.
they? They've been told to dial up the melodrama.
And she's on a train
Yes.
coming to.
Collingsport.
Now, it's only just occurred to me.
Hmm.
Episode of League of Gentlemen
Yeah.
starts on a
Yep.
train
Yep.
with
Yes.
who is it? Reese,
Yeah, Reese's
whatever
I can't
character it
remember what
is,
character
but sort
it
of
is.
coming
Yes.
to
go and stay with his aunt and uncle.
yeah.
Hmm.
And there's a little bit of a connection there.
Yes,
I think.
they may have had this in their mind when they first wrote that.
Yeah. But she's saying how she's coming to Collinsport, which is in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, in Maine.
And like the train barely ever stops there, doesn't
No,
it?
it's like a request stop.
Yeah.
I mean, you got off.
You do get
You do get them
you do
because
get
you
them
had
here.
one, didn't you? Didn't you have to? No, didn't you stop at a station once so the driver could get off and have a cigarette?
That was when we were coming back from Wales, I think,
Yeah.
or something like that. There was this little tiny station, and the train driver said, "I'm going to stop the train and get out and have a cigarette. So if anyone wants to come out on the platform and have a fag with me, don't forget to get on the train again."
Again, yeah, because you'll be there forever otherwise.
But yeah, it's what struck me is the soundtrack.
Yes, there's this continuous music all the way through, and it's not normal music. It's very melodramatic music.
It's sinister music.
It's sinister. It's like something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Nothing happens. And the camera work. The camera. It's always like the camera is a person, and the person is watching whatever is going on at the time. So like, there's a bit where Victoria Winters comes down the stairs, and the camera's pulled right back, and it's sort of almost in a cupboard thing because there's a bit of an edge of the set there, and it's like it's a person, and they're hiding and watching her. It's quite creepy.
That's the thing. They're very, very good at sort of creating an air of tension out of virtually nothing.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen, but you're expecting anything to happen at any time.
Because who's the bloke in the sort of hotel? You said it's the bloke from
It's the actor that plays the
Different
father in
Strokes.
Different Strokes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you recognise Burke Devlin.
Burke Devlin, yes. He's
Now, who's
he's
he?
in
You better
various-
explain who Burke Devlin,
well,
Devlin is.
he comes back on the train with Victoria Winters, and he's got a car because there's no taxis at the station. We've been to stations like
I
that,
know,
haven't we?
yeah.
Yeah. I remember. I mean, there were taxis, but you go to Swansea and you have to wait ages because obviously when you go, it's a Doctor Who convention and you're at the back of the kit. But yeah, you've been to stations where you have to wait for a taxi, and he's got a car and he takes her to the hotel in his car because he's staying at the hotel in Coningsball. And he gets there and the bloke's, "Oh, it's Burke Devlin," and he's like, "I've never been here before.
You don't know me.
You don't know me." you're mistaken. And you're like, okay. He obviously does know you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he goes off because he gets a message and he's got to go off and see somebody in the town. And she goes off into the coffee shop to wait for a while. They find the one taxi in town whose car's broken down.
It's got a flat
having
tyre.
it fixed or whatever it is, yeah. So it's like a one taxi town. It's not a one horse town, it's a one taxi town. And she goes into the coffee shop and meets Maggie, who's I believe will be quite a prominent character.
And she tells her she's a jerk for wanting to go.
She should get get a taxi to
get out of here
and go back to New York. Yeah. Everybody says don't go to the house. It's strange. And there's obviously something wrong because she's going to look after a child.
Yeah.
David Collins.
Who is like no child you've ever
and
met
you're like,
before.
Okay, was he some sort of homicidal maniac or something? It's just really odd.
But
it draws you in.
I love the way it just keeps on setting up mystery.
Yeah, it doesn't answer any of them. It just sets new ones up.
Not yet,
Not
anyway.
yet,
no. Obviously, as sort of time will go on, we might get a few answers
Maybe.
to
Not
some
for
of these
a while,
questions.
though.
But it's setting up. This is the thing. The people look into the sort of distance, don't they, as though they've got secrets.
Yes.
It's that Tom Baker thing about they've got secrets.
Yes. And nobody is happy. Nobody in the house is happy.
Because with episode 2, we see who's the daughter character.
Carolyn.
Yeah, and
she's not happy.
She's dancing at the disco.
She's dancing at the disco.
Well, it's not a disco, is it?
No, dancing at the bar, and she's flirting with other men, and her boyfriend gets jealous, and they have fights, and Burke Devlin breaks it up and sends her off with a flea in her ear, really. and
well, he's going to paddle her, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to paddle her, yeah.
Give her
a slap.
A smacked bottom.
Smacked bottom. Got a jolly good smacked bottom.
Hartnell would have loved that.
Would say, yes. So yeah, no, but she's not happy. Her mother's obviously not happy.
Yeah.
Because
what's all this stuff with her playing the piano at the end of the episode, and then she sort of like slumps over the piano.
Because half of the house, it's a 40-roomed house.
Yeah.
And half of the house, like the east wing's not in use.
Yeah.
So, and they only have one man to help. And then her brother turns up, Roger, who is the father of David, and he's fine until Victoria mentions that Burke Devlin's back in town, and then he makes a hasty retreat. Because there's obviously some history there.
But production-wise, I think it's very interesting because you've got filmed inserts that it is very Hartnell Doctor Who, isn't it, in its shooting style?
Yes.
You've got filmed inserts that they play
into the
sort of video stuff. We're 2 episodes in, and there's only been about one wonky camera shot at one point where they haven't quite lined it up right, and they sort of hurriedly sort of zoom the camera over. But I'm guessing that the music is played in live.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah,
and the actors
it's there all the time.
And the actors are actually hearing it. I'm guessing because this is 1966, and it's June, isn't it? 6. Because you've got these slates at the start,
which I love,
written in chalk.
I love.
Yeah.
I can't see the slate as it goes in the.
What do you want me to do? Yeah.
I can't see the slate.
Dark Shadows, VTR. And of course, it's the American date system where you've got the month, day, and then the year.
Yes.
And I'm looking at it and going 6/14/66. Well, there isn't a month that's 14. It utterly throws me every time. Because you said about somebody.
Yes, I had to.
Driving license.
I did somebody the other day, and she had an American. She was an American. She had an American driving license, and I was looking at it, going, "Well, no, what? Oh no, it's American date. That's right.
It's
okay,
the other way round.
It's the other way round." And I actually did say to her, which was probably I didn't mean it rudely. I went, "Oh yeah, it's backwards." And I thought, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean it to say it like that.
It's not wrong, it's just different.
It's just not wrong. It's not wrong.
It's like
just,
driving,
it's not right.
It's just driving on the other side of the road, that's the thing. But I've already shown you a little bit of episode 3, haven't I? We should briefly say about this. With the door, opening.
The door just opens randomly.
Yeah.
And
now, you said she's looking at the picture on the wall, and you said that's a little wrong, isn't it?
There's some dialogue about that's because it's the original founder member of the Collins
the bloke
family.
that built the house.
Built the house, Quentin Collins.
Yeah.
and he's the 17th century, which would make him 1600 and something, and it's definitely not 1600.
But the clothes he's wearing is
much more Victorian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then you just get this sequence where the door handle turns and the door opens.
Yeah.
And then.
But there's nobody there.
And there's nobody there. So, is it that somebody has been eavesdropping?
And not the door accidentally.
Or is it that the ghost of
Quentin Collins has just walked in.
In the bloke in the painting,
Yeah.
because somebody's paid attention to him, has been like summoned, and I genuinely don't know at this point.
And I don't think they know either. Oh, the door opens. Why?
But Paul is the sort of person that's sort of
he's the expert.
he's the expert on Dark Shadows in our group, and you recorded them all for Paul.
I did. I didn't know. I don't know if I recorded.
Well, you
all
half of them.
I think I did half, and Andy Ching did half.
Yeah.
And
did you do the first?
I
half and
honestly
second
can't
half?
remember.
Oh, okay.
I did. I know I did a significant chunk, and because he used to either provided me with a videotape, or I would get a videotape, and he would give me the money for the videotapes, and I don't know if we didn't reuse videotape, because obviously with videotape you can't keep reusing it too much because it gets too thin, but I think we recorded them a long play because we could get more episodes on there.
Because these are about 20 minutes
20
ago,
minutes
so
or so.
you can do 3 episodes in an hour quite happily.
True.
But I'm just interested in how Paul asked you to do it in the first place. Did you say that Dark Shadows was available?
No, I think he found out, and he was asking amongst all our group of friends
who
for
could do
people
it.
that had. We obviously had Freeview at that point or whatever. Because we never had a satellite dish. We had Freeview, and he'd obviously said.
What channel was it then?
I can't remember. It might have been Sci-Fi Channel or something like that.
Oh, right, okay.
It's such a long time. We're talking about
It's not
20
UK Gold, is
odd
it?
years ago. No, it wouldn't be UK Gold. Yeah, we're talking about 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
So all I can remember is putting the tape in and setting it to record.
What time was it on?
It was some ridiculous time, like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, blimey!
So it would just go off and
Was it in your
tape it every
bedroom?
day.
Or
Yes.
Not? Yeah, all right. So would you hear it going?
No, you get used to it after a while.
You
You
just
didn't-
fall
didn't
asleep.
hear it. No.
Okay.
No.
But yeah, I mean the show itself, I really don't know at all.
No.
But I can immediately see, even just watching these couple of episodes, how it's an influence on Paul's own series, Sutton Park.
Yes.
That just weird, unexplained
Things
stuff
happen. Yeah.
will happen. And you might get an explanation like 100 episodes later or something like that. Because Paul very much is into improvisation and ad-libbing, and whatever anybody says during a take is where the story's going to go. I remember, sort of acting with Paul, that he would give us a vague outline of what was going on. But if you came up with something during the dialogue that he quite liked, he'd often go with it later. Obviously, this is plotted much more, much more than that, and you've got all the camera moves and that. But I do wonder how much they're just sort of making up in the script on the spot.
Yeah.
From week to week. Because it strikes me that they're putting weird stuff in it for the sake of it.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't mind that at all.
No.
Because that engages me. As you said, you want to find out what's going to happen
and we're going
next, even if they don't actually know themselves.
And we're going to try and watch an episode every day.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you should watch too many episodes, because again, it's like Doctor Who. It's designed to be watched one episode at a time.
Yeah, one or two at most.
Yes,
yeah.
and then watch the next episode the next time it's on, the next day or the next week or whatever. I think if you watch too many episodes, you'll just get.
Yeah.
I think it would probably drive you a little bit bonkers, to be honest, because of all the whole weirdness. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
But yeah, jumping ahead briefly, we showed Warren a bit of episode 700 and something.
Yes.
And it's just so utterly unrecognisable.
Yeah,
but it's set in the same place. Yeah. And that's what I really... I've said this before about series and serials. That's the thing that I so much prefer that approach
Mhm.
to a single film.
Yeah.
I love the fact, how can you change a thing
Mm.
to make it still consistent with what what you've set up, but how you stretch a format.
Yeah.
And because I was just looking through the list last night of
Mhm.
sort of storylines and things
Gone
like
for a
that,
long time.
and
mean,
there's
I-
like 200 episode sort of storylines.
I don't think we're going to get an answer to this Burke Devlin thing for
No
a
idea.
long time. Well, didn't you say it went from episode 1 to episode
100 and something.
100 and something?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to take. We're in the long game.
And that's what intrigues me. How much are the sort of writing production team, do they actually know from week to week? Or are they just saying, well, we'll deal with that like sort of in 3 months and we'll make something up?
Yeah.
And to me, that's brilliant. That it's that thing with Doctor Who, isn't it? That
Yeah.
initially in Doctor Who, Hartnell's just a weird old man.
Mhm.
And it takes 6 years before you even find out,
But
you
he's-
know, what he is.
Yeah.
And it takes another 5 years before you find out what his planet's called.
Mhm.
And to me, that's great, because it really engages my imagination. So
Mhm.
Dark Shadows has already been a bit of a hit for
Yeah.
me, I think.
Yeah. So
And I'm just sorry that we've taken this long to...
to do it.
But thank you to Paul
Yes.
for
Thank you, Paul,
putting
for
the idea
finally
in our
convincing us to do it.
heads. So there we are. So we'll do episode 3, what, tomorrow? if we
Tomorrow,
can?
yes, if we can. Yeah.
We
should
won't
be able
do
to.
too many videos on it,
No.
but
No.
you know, we might do the old blog post as we go
Mama!
along. Oh,
What's
Martha's
the matter?
talking.
Hello.
Martha Cat is here in black and white.
Well, she's in black anyway.
Well, there she is. All right, Martha, let you on the telly. Do you care? No, not really. Okay, we'll say
Right.
bye bye then.
Okay.
There's the stop button there.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.